Mars has fascinated humanity for centuries. It is the most Earth-like planet in our solar system and has inspired dreams of future colonies. But despite the excitement, Mars is one of the most hostile environments imaginable. In this documentary, we will discover why living on Mars is far more difficult than science fiction often suggests. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun and lies about 225 million kilometers away from Earth on average. It is smaller than Earth, colder, and covered in deserts, mountains, and giant impact craters. Although it once had rivers and lakes, today's Mars is a dry and frozen world. At first glance, Mars appears beautiful. Vast landscapes stretch for thousands of kilometers, and enormous volcanoes and canyons dwarf anything found on Earth. But beneath this beauty lies a world that cannot naturally support human life. One of the greatest problems is the atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere provides breathable oxygen and protects us from harmful radiation. Mars, however, has an extremely thin atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide. The pressure is so low that humans cannot survive without pressurized suits and habitats. Stepping onto Mars without a spacesuit would be fatal. There is no breathable air, temperatures are freezing, and the low atmospheric pressure would cause serious physiological damage within seconds. Survival on Mars depends entirely on technology. Mars is an extremely cold planet. Average temperatures are around -63 degrees Celsius, and winter temperatures near the poles can plunge below -120 degrees. Any settlement would require constant heating and energy. Unlike Earth, Mars lacks a strong global magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field protects life from harmful charged particles coming from space. Without this natural shield, the Martian surface is exposed to dangerous radiation. Radiation is one of the biggest obstacles to human settlement. Cosmic rays and solar radiation constantly bombard Mars. Long-term exposure increases the risk of cancer, damages DNA, and may affect the nervous system. Future habitats will require heavy shielding or underground construction. Scientists believe that underground habitats may provide the safest solution. Living beneath the surface would protect astronauts from radiation, temperature extremes, and dust storms while creating a more stable environment for long-term survival. Water is essential for life, but liquid water cannot exist easily on the Martian surface because of the extremely low atmospheric pressure. Most of the water on Mars is locked away as ice beneath the surface or in the polar caps. Growing food on Mars will be another enormous challenge. Plants would need carefully controlled environments with artificial lighting, recycled water, and nutrient-rich soil substitutes. Future Martian greenhouses may provide fresh food for astronauts. Martian soil presents additional dangers. It contains toxic chemicals called perchlorates that are harmful to humans and plants. Before crops can be grown, scientists will need ways to remove these toxic compounds or create artificial growing systems. Mars experiences some of the largest dust storms in the solar system. These storms can cover the entire planet and last for weeks or even months. Fine dust particles can damage equipment and reduce solar power generation. Robotic explorers like Opportunity and Perseverance have transformed our understanding of Mars. These rovers have traveled across ancient landscapes, analyzed rocks, and searched for evidence that water and possibly life once existed on the planet. Gravity on Mars is only about 38% of Earth's gravity. Scientists still do not fully understand how long-term exposure to reduced gravity would affect muscles, bones, and human health. Future settlers may face significant medical challenges. Inside Martian habitats, life would resemble a high-tech research station. Every drop of water, every breath of air, and every source of food would need to be carefully recycled and monitored to keep people alive. Communication between Earth and Mars is far from instant. Depending on the positions of the planets, radio signals may take between 4 and 24 minutes to travel each way. Astronauts on Mars would need to operate with a great deal of independence. Even reaching Mars is a massive challenge. The journey takes approximately 7 months and exposes astronauts to prolonged weightlessness and radiation. A successful mission would require advanced spacecraft and careful planning. A small colony on Mars could be one of the most isolated places humans have ever lived. Colonists would be separated from Earth by millions of kilometers, making psychological health and social support just as important as physical survival. Scientists and engineers around the world are developing technologies that could make human settlement possible. Research into life support systems, robotics, agriculture, and energy production continues to push the boundaries of exploration. Companies such as SpaceX envision large settlements on Mars with reusable spacecraft and self-sustaining communities. While these ideas are ambitious, many technical and economic challenges remain before such colonies become reality. Producing oxygen on Mars will be essential. Technologies like NASA's MOXIE experiment have already demonstrated that oxygen can be extracted from carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere. Future colonies may use similar systems to provide breathable air and rocket fuel. Some scientists have proposed terraforming Mars by thickening its atmosphere and warming the planet. However, current research suggests that transforming Mars into an Earth-like world would require enormous amounts of time, energy, and resources far beyond our present capabilities. Despite all our technology, Mars remains a harsh and unforgiving world. Radiation, freezing temperatures, toxic soil, and dust storms remind us that nature can be far more powerful than human ambition. One day, humanity may build thriving cities on Mars. Advanced habitats, greenhouses, and new technologies could make life possible on the red planet. But until then, Mars remains both a symbol of our dreams and a reminder of the extraordinary challenges that await us beyond Earth. Thank you for watching.